Hello everyone. In our last class, we were discussing Cold War, so we'll continue with that. So till now, we have discussed what is Cold War, what is the reason behind Cold War, what is Cuban Missile Crisis, and after the Second World War, this Cold War started after 1945. So the Cold War, the superpower who has been involved in this Cold War, needed some alliances. Smaller states, smaller countries came to have friendship with those superpowers. And the one most important point is that USA was a capitalist country, still is a capitalist country, and USSR was a socialist country. We have to understand this. This Cold War is not just only war of nuclear missile, because both of them have nuclear missile and all. Both of them wanted to show their superiority to the world. That is true. But another point is that this is a war of capitalism and socialism also, because USA followed capitalism and Soviet Russia followed socialism. So this war is also a war of capitalism and socialism. Now, what is capitalism? Capitalism means private ownership. In USA, every common people have a private ownership. And socialism. Now, socialism means state ownership. Like the property will belong to the state, and state will divide those property equally to the common people. In socialism, it is believed that every common people should have equal wealth and property. But in private ownership, it's about the individual who wanted, for example, the capable person will have a lot of property and the poor do not have anything. So that is capitalism. So this war is also a war of capitalism and socialism. I'm giving you this point now because this is an important point which we have to follow in our second chapter, then third chapter. So this Cold War is also a war of capitalism and socialism. Now we'll continue where we have left last time. So we were discussing that Europe has been divided into two parts. We have already discussed that Europe has been divided into two parts, that is Eastern Alliance and the Western Alliance. Western Alliance was headed by USA, and the Eastern Alliance headed by USSR. This Eastern Alliance and Western Alliance is a division of Europe into two parts, East and West. Now this Western Alliance, also known as, they formed themselves into an organization called NATO. Western Alliance and NATO both are same, and the principle of the NATO is that no superpower or any other country can use missile power or armed attack. They cannot declare armed attack. And this Eastern Alliance headed by Soviet Russia, also known as Warsaw Pact. According to this Eastern Alliance or the Warsaw Pact, its main principle is to counter NATO. Whatever principles are there in NATO, this Warsaw Pact will oppose to them. Okay. Now, international alliances during the Cold War were determined by the requirement of the superpower. These alliances are also the requirement of the superpower. They needed alliances. They needed friendship. Both of them are superpower. They are fully armed countries. They have everything, but also they needed alliances. We will discuss why. In some cases, superpower used their military power to bring countries into their respective alliances. In some cases, they have used their military power to have friendship, to bring another country or the state into their alliances. We have one most important example is that Europe, division of Europe. The Europe provides an example. The Soviet Union used its influence in Eastern Europe. This is the influence only in Eastern Europe, right? Similarly, the influence of USA in Western Europe. That is the reason Europe has been divided into two parts, that is Eastern Alliance and the Western Alliance. In East and Southeast Asia and in West Asia, the United States built an alliance system called the Southeast Asian Treaty Organization. Now this is important. This is called SEATO, Southeast Asian Treaty Organization, is an alliance of USA with the East and the Southeast Asia and in the West Asia. The East and the Southeast Asia and the West Asia is an alliance with USA and came to be known as SEATO, Southeast Asian Treaty Organization. There is another organization, CENTO, 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 Central Treaty Organization. This is an organization of USA. Now, how many organizations are there? There are 3 organizations of USA. Western Alliance or the NATO, SEATO, Southeast Asian Treaty Organization, and CENTO, Central Treaty Organization. These are the alliances of USA. And Soviet Russia. The Soviet Union and the Communist China responded by having close relation. So, Soviet Union has a close relation with China and other countries, regional countries such as North Vietnam, North Korea and Iraq. North Vietnam, North Korea, Iraq, Communist China. So, the Soviet Union has an alliance of Eastern Europe, that is Eastern Alliance or the Warsaw Pact, Communist China, then Vietnam, North Korea and Iraq. So these are the alliances of the superpowers. Now, the Cold War threatened to divide the whole world into 2 parts because of these alliances. And even small states have their own benefits in having a good relationship with superpower. Similarly, superpower have their any benefit with these small states or the countries. So the whole world was divided into 2 parts at that time because of this Cold War, because of the USA and the Soviet Union. Now, at that time, because this is the term period, or this is the time of 1945 onwards. So India got its independence in 1947. There are many other countries who got their independence during that period. So when the whole world was divided into 2 parts, that time the newly independent country, they were worried at that time because they might lose their freedom again. Those who got independence from the colonial power or the British power. So other important development, we will discuss this, the newly independent in, there is another one subtopic that is called challenges to bipolarity. So we'll discuss that this point for this newly independent states in this topic. So at that time, for this newly independent country, one organization was formed that is called NAM, Non-Alignment Movement. So what is NAM? Who are the founders of the NAM? We'll discuss that. Let's first discuss about these alliances. So what was the reason? Well, we might ask that superpower needed their allies. So why? They are very, very powerful. They have nuclear weapons. They have everything. So why did they need allies? And the answer is vital resources such as oil and minerals because of the resources. Because being a USA, being the superpower, they cannot have oil resources over there. They have to depend upon the other country for their resources. So this is one of the example. Another example is territory, from where the superpower could launch their weapon and troops. So territory is required. Next point is a location from where they could spy on each other. Yes, the location is also required. One country is also required. One place is required to spy onto the others. And economic support, in that many small allies together help pay for military expenses. Though they have a very huge army, a very strong army, strong military, they have to pay to that military also if they are having the strong military. So that is economic support. They needed economic support from other countries. That is the reason they are having alliances. So these are the reason for the alliances. Now we'll discuss arenas of Cold War. So what were the areas where the Cold War has been happened? So we cannot say that these superpower USA and USSR never came face to face with each other. They had come during small wars, like they had a direct confrontation in Korea, in Korean War 1950 to 53, Berlin 1958 to 1962, and the Congo, the early 1960s. They have a direct confrontation during this period, but also that time also the whole world were afraid or worried that these two forces might come into a direct hot war. So if that would happen at that time, then the whole world will be devastated. So during that period also, these both the superpower also knew that we cannot fight with each other. We cannot show our arrogance at that time. We have to control ourselves. Even this superpower knew this very, very well. A great many lives were lost in some of these areas like Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan. Sometimes countries outside the two blocs, for example, the non-aligned countries, play a role in reducing Cold War conflict and averting some grave crisis. So there were alliances, there were NAM, which we have discussed. Non-aligned movement was there at that time. According to that non-aligned movement, the member of this alignment are not and allies, are not a friend, or are not involved in that Cold War with any of the power at that time. So this non-alignment movement play a very important role, a very crucial role in stopping these two superpowers to have a hot war during that time. So even this the two sides, the USA and the USSR, understood that war might occur in spite of restraint. They knew that war might occur. Either side might miscalculate the number of the weapons in the possession of the other side. They might miscalculate, yes, obviously, right? No one can use USA has this much of military, USA has this much of army, this number of army, this much of missiles. USSR have this much of missile. USA did not know about that. So they might miscalculate at that time. So if one of them attacked the other, so during that period, what will happen? Destruction. Only destruction. The two countries, the two superpowers might be destroyed completely. So even the superpowers, they understood this thing, that we cannot have a hot war with each other. So during that period, during this Cold War, both the superpower had that knowledge right? They cannot fight, they cannot have a hot war with each other. They have to control themselves in order to avoid war. During that period, there were many treaties has been signed. So we'll discuss these treaties. Starting in 1960, the two sides signed three significant agreement with the decade. So they have signed three agreement or the three treaties. So what are the three agreement? These were limited test ban treaty. All these three treaties belongs to the nuclear power or the missiles. So these were the limited test ban treaty, one, another one nuclear non-proliferation treaty, and the anti-ballistic missile treaty. So these are the three treaties according to which both the superpower cannot use their missiles. It's a ban on them to use missile because of this treaty, and both the superpower agreed to sign this treaty. So these are the treaty. So you have to remember, these are the limited test ban treaty, nuclear non-proliferation treaty, and the anti-ballistic missile treaty. These treaties has been signed during the Cold War. Therefore, the superpower held several rounds of arms limitation talks and signed several more treaties to limit their arms, because they were full of arms. They were, these two countries, these two superpowers only have the nuclear missile at that time. So they have to test, they have to held their arms, they have to limit their arms, they have to limit their missiles. If in case something happened, then this Cold War might turn into a hot war. So these are the treaties. You have to remember the treaties, you have to remember the allies, the alignment, you have to remember the names of the allies: Eastern Alliances, Western Alliances, CETO, CENTO, Communist China, North Vietnam, North Korea, and Iraq. So these are the important questions which you have to answer. And one more thing, why did this alliances required, the superpower required these alliances? What is the reason behind that? We have discussed 4 points like resources, territory, location, economic support. So these 4 points are very important for the alliances. So in our next class, we will discuss the challenges to bipolarity. Here comes the role of India. What is the role of India during the Cold War? Till then, all of you, please be prepared. Please do read the books. Online books is also there. Try to read and stay safe. Thank you.